Yo, welcome to the KaneSaid Sports Show, and I'm your host, Kane Bradfield. And y'all know my slogan, the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby. Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of KaneSaid. Y'all know my slogan, the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby. Today, I got my dog in the house, baby. We're going to talk a little football, talk a little life. How you doing, man?
I'm wonderful, Kane. I appreciate you letting me come in and hang out with you a little bit.
Man, why not, man? Let people know who you are, baby.
Folks, I'm Jack Morman. I'm blessed to have been a school teacher in the school system for 29 years. I'm president over at Callaway Middle School, loving those kids over there.
Most definitely.
Spent some time in the office doing principal things, and went to the central office and did some central office things, and realized I'm a teacher, and I had to go back to that. So that's where I'm finishing my career back in the classroom. But
back in that classroom.
Also, I get a chance to do a lot of local sports and talk Tiger football on the radio, and I do Monday night radio shows for WLAG, and just have a lot of fun with local sports, and pretty much if somebody gets a mic in front of me, I'm going to have to use it and talk on it. So.
You're going to turn up on the mic, baby?
Yep.
You got to. So, Jay, but listen, man, first of all, give me your history, man. Tell me more about Jack.
Well, I'm blessed to have been in this community my whole life.
Okay.
Grew up here, went to Troop High School, LaGrange College, really never left town.
Wow.
Blessed that my wife, Sarah Morman, happened to be at a McDonald's in Dothan, Alabama, on my way home from Florida one year, and I saw her and I thought, hey, she's fine.
Yeah.
So I got her number, called her, and we've been together ever since. Really? And just celebrated our 30th year back in June.
Man, congratulations, man. And shout out to Mickey D's for the love, baby.
Bringing us together.
Yeah,
over McNuggets, man, I tell you. That was a big flurry in my life. I got 4 kids, 3 girls, Alyssa, Anna, and Caitlin. I got a son, Jackie. I'm representing him today. He's at University of Alabama in Huntsville, studying astronomy and astrophysics, which I don't know any of that stuff.
I'm about to say, man, what is that?
Way smarter than I am. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
He had a Nobel Prize winner giving the lecture at his class the other day. That's
That's major, man.
And I got a grandson, Cyrus. He's the son of my daughter, Alyssa, and her husband, Martin. And then I've got a son-in-law, Jordan, married to my daughter, Anna. So just a great family. We love to get together, do all sorts of things. And my extended family, my mom and dad, been there all their life, and my sister, Lisa. Many people know Lisa. She's a yoga instructor here in town. And
shout out to Lisa.
Oh, yeah. And her husband, Terry, he's probably taking care of most.
Shout out to Terry already.
And my brother, Brad, he teaches over at Gardner Newman.
Okay.
And then his wife, Jess, she works in the school system. They've got great kids. Lisa has Clancy, Madison, and Ben. Ben's a senior at LaGrange High School this year. And Brad's got Chloe, who's going to Georgia. She's got Bo, who's at Gardner Newman, and then Sadie, little Sadie, she's at Rosemont, bringing up the rear right there. So that's the whole game.
That's a whole game. Shout out to the game, man. I like that. So, Big Dog, let me ask you something, though, man. But how'd you fall in love with sports, though?
I was blessed to have a daddy that loved sports. He refereed basketball from the time, as far as I can remember. If I was could go somewhere, I was with him. I was in the truck. I was in the car. We were going to ball games. Mr. Frank Lewis, who the library at LaGrange College is named after, he and Dad refereed all over the state of Georgia.
Wow.
I'd be in the car between them. They'd be talking stuff. I'd be listening.
Yeah.
We got thrown out of Griffin, Georgia one night.
Give me that story. I need something.
I'm about 6 years old, 7 years old, and I'm in the car with Mr. Frank and Dad, and it was always a ball game. Boy. It was tight, and I was sitting there watching that thing, going, man, bite my nails.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, he's a tough guy, and he got in the face of the head coach for Griffin and said, "You gonna shut up, or I'm gonna throw you out." Guy got up at Daddy's face and he said, "You go on," and he threw out the head coach during a preaching game in his gym.
Wow.
And so we had a police escort as people were throwing stuff, yelling at us, words I've never heard in my life, especially being around Daddy, Mr. Frank.
Yeah.
And we got in that car, and a police escort to the city limits, and we took ourselves back to Troop County. So
no, man.
But Dad got me involved. In fact, my dad wanted me to play football really bad. But I wasn't old enough. So he changed the dates on my birth certificate. Well, because, this was back before computers and stuff.
Right.
So on the paper,
Hey, you got to go by.
Then somebody said, wait a minute, that's not possible.
Right, something ain't adding up.
They took my pads and they found out they were starting the first soccer league here in Troup County that year. Actually, we got a little picture of me kicking a soccer ball. And so at 5 years old, I'm playing soccer. I played every sport, soccer, football, baseball, basketball. I ran track, did it all through high school. Was never that good at it, but no one could match my effort. I was going to give you everything I had in every sport that I had. I graduated high school early. I was 17. Then I put 50 pounds of mass on when I went to college.
Okay.
And
now on purpose?
No, just natural life, puberty.
Okay.
I mean, just physically bigger.
Yeah.
I graduated. I was playing starting defensive end for Troup High School in '85, weighing about 145 pounds, and playing very well. I had great guys around me. In fact, we've been talking about Coach Glisson over at Troup just surpassing the win record of Steve James. And Steve James came in while I was there at Troup High School. We went from 1-9 my freshman year under another coach to Steve with 6-4, and then 7-3 in the regular season, go to the playoffs. 7-3 in the regular season, to 2 games of the playoffs. So we began some of that success that Steve was able to have back in those mid '80s. So, but football's always been my passion. Radio's always been a passion of mine too. Real quick, I was in Otasco with the Boy Scouts when I was about 7 in Pine Mountain. And WTRP was doing a remote from there, and the Boy Scouts all sit down.
Now, what year was this?
This was that's 77, 78 probably.
Okay, I'm with you now.
And so he said, "Y'all just give a shout out to your parents." And I was like, "Hello, mom and dad." And my mom, when I got home, said, "I heard you on the radio." Well, that blew my mind.
Fell in love with it.
Talking to a thing, it goes through all these wires, all these electronics, up to that tower, out of that tower, into your radio, into those speakers, and you hear them like that,
just like
instantaneous.
that.
And radio, it's not like TV. It's not like a book. When I say it, I'm in your ear. I'm in your head.
Right then.
Right then. And so I've got to be careful what I say. I got to think about it. But right this, it's the most intimate media we have. That's why podcasts are so big. Because you're in the room with the person.
Right then. Yeah.
And you're getting all that they got right there. And so I just fell in love with it. I got a chance to I was the news director at WTRP coming out of college. Went on to be a nighttime DJ for a while, making your nights just a little bit brighter. Jack in the Dark on Easy 97.5.
Ooh, look at that radio voice, baby.
Drop it.
Yeah.
Did some TV 33 work. Then realized I wasn't going to make any money doing all that. So I went back to school. I had a theater degree.
Right.
Went back to school, got my degree in education, and been an educator ever since.
Wow. Jack. Okay, so I'm back here for a little bit, though. So man, when you touch that radio, touch that microphone to get on the radio, man. Give me more of that experience, man. Give me more of that, man. Talk about, you know what I'm saying, when you first did it, you know what I'm saying, for a team.
Oh, gosh.
Or talking about a team.
Well, I always wanted to do football and stuff on the radio.
Okay.
But when I was at MXY doing the Jack in the Dark thing, I was the board operator. So there was a couple of guys, another guy, and a guy named Tracy Van Norman, were doing local football. They wasn't a team. They would just do a game of the week. I guess this is early 90s. And of course, I've been working in radio just as a DJ, spinning records, that sort of thing, and actually spinning records.
Really?
We didn't have CD.
Right. So
I'm actually.
You got to get in now.
Yep,
you got to get in now.
So I can actually.
Really?
Yep. So I was running the board, and this guy was terrible at play-by-play. I mean, he was so bad. It was just, it's just killing me. It's just killing me. So I went to the station manager. I said, look, I can do a better job than that guy. Just let me have a game. And the guy got sick one night, and they said, all right, Jack, you're going to do the game. So Tracy, who was a really good color analyst, and when you're doing that, the play-by-play guy's job is to set the scene, build the skeleton, and the color guy comes in and lays that body over the.
So I'm gonna stop you right there, man. Man, cause I'm be honest, man. I first heard those terms when I was talking to Andrew Caraway. He talked about you said the color,
play-by-play, and the color man.
Okay, and explain that again to me. Now, break that down real good to me.
And I'm proud that Andrew's using what I taught him.
Yeah.
But all right, so play-by-play is in the moment. I'm telling you what's actually happening as I watch it. Okay, I'm your eyes and ears. But there's lots of stuff I miss. There's lots of stuff I can't tell you about. I can't tell you about that pulling guard. I can't tell you about that crackback block. I can't tell you about that kid that came in from his safety position and hit that. So the color man then walks in and says, Jack, you're exactly right. He's down there on the 25, but let me tell you, he had to move to the outside and then did a cutback because his guard kicked out and he was able to make that cutback right behind him. So he's able to color in the black and white drawing that I just gave.
Makes sense now.
So he's my color man.
Makes sense now.
To my play-by-play.
So, okay, so to be honest, man, naturally, everyone is not a play-by-play person.
No.
And everyone's not a color person.
You have. I'm blessed to do both.
Okay.
I get a chance to do for the high school sports. Most of the time, I'm doing play-by-play. Now, I've had a chance to work with. You mentioned Andrew Caraway. Real proud that he would sit in the booth between my partner Greg Hicks and I, and kind of learn from us. And then he went on to do Callaway on his own.
Right,
Real proud of that. Now, Quay Body. We needed another guy for Callaway. Andrew joined the coaching staff. Knew Quay, knew his experience as a player at Callaway, what he did in college, knows as a motivational guy. We spent some time together going over the craft, talking about the ins and outs, and I called him and texted him during ball games, and he's doing the play-by-play as well. But I enjoy the color because it's a lot more relaxed. I can sit back and watch the game. I was like, oh, man, okay. And then when the play-by-play guy stops, I come in and say, oh, man. It makes me sound really smart. But maybe I'm not as smart as they.
Right, but you feel like the man up there.
But the play-by-play, I'm running the show. I'm getting the cut. Make sure we got our sponsors mentioned. I'm making sure that we go to breaks. I'm making sure that everybody knows what the time and what the score is. That's the biggest thing you got to do. Because let's say you're in your car and you and your wife are going out to eat. She says, "Come on." I said, "Hold on a minute," and I give you the score. Well, when you get in the restaurant, you don't know scores. When you get back, as soon as you get in, what do you want to know?
The score.
What the score is. You don't want to sit there going, Jack,
right?
Jack, tell me the score, Jack. So it may sound repetitious, but every minute to 2 minutes, I'm given the time and score. I got to make sure to do that because I don't know who's coming in and out of my broadcast.
Right.
Most of us don't have time to sit and listen to the whole game.
Yeah.
Most folks are coming in and out of whatever they do.
Like you say, in and out that thing.
It's just like they do when they're watching football or baseball. Baseball especially, I think about the old greats that we used to listen to, Skip Carey and stuff. They're your background.
Yeah.
And you working on your car, or you fixing this, or you cooking some barbecue, and you got that on behind you.
Yeah.
That's filling in your day.
Man.
It's the same idea with what we're doing. I'm just trying to bring the experience that they can't be at to them at home.
Because I'm going to tell you something, man. I've been asked before to do that, but I don't think I'm the play-by-play person.
Oh, you're a color guy. I can tell you right now.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I said color, not colored.
Well, I'm about to say, hold on, you just call me black, man? Now, let's go. No, go ahead. No,
I have black friends.
Right. Anyway. Right.
But, the reason is your experience.
Okay.
The color guy needs to be someone who either knows the kids well, knows the program well and the play calling well, and has experienced it on the field. They can translate those experiences to what's going on the radio.
Now that makes sense.
So now I'm a former player, but my high school is about the extent of it. But I got to coach a little bit, and I've got a lot of experience from being around it all my life. So I'm able to give you the novice, the ladies can enjoy what I'm saying. Okay, they can follow, and then the technical stuff that color guy can bring in and really kind of fill it out. They can talk about a cover two. They can talk about a stunting linebacker. And you come what gap I'm going to hit. They can talk about all those little detail things, nuanced things. The play-by-play, I don't have time to. So, but now I mentioned Greg. Greg Hicks and I have been together, probably almost 12 years now, and we're automatic. A lot of times you'll hear some people that are new to each other. Play-by-play guy's talking. While he's talking, the color guy comes over the top of him, and you can't understand what the play-by-play guy's saying anymore because the color guy. So he's trying to get his part. Greg and I have gotten to such a rhythm that he knows where my pause is. I'll say. Quarterback takes it, he rolls right, he looks downfield, he's got a guy out in the flats, he makes the catch, brought down at the 22, second down. When I say second down, he knows, well, Jack, here's what happened, and he breaks it down, the stuff that I maybe didn't see or was out of my peripheral vision, and he helps them to understand that. And I know he knows the cue when the quarterback's back, ready to accept the ball, he stops, so I can take back over.
You can take back over.
So that rhythm, and he's actually, we've got it to where he's on the field most games now. So he's giving me that from the sideline, around the kids, with the people. If there's an impact, you feel it on our air because you hear it through Greg's radio, and we both go, ooh. You hear us. And just having him, it's a great thing. I think the best year we had, you might know Tony Walls. Tony Walls is a great Callaway backer, and he still keeps the field so there at Callaway High, I think, sometimes. But his sons had played, and Tony joined the booth with us. We were doing Callaway intro. It's a 3-man booth, like the old Monday Night Football.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And so I'm doing the play-by-play for everybody. So if it's Callaway, I got Tony doing the color and Greg on the field. And we developed this chemistry between the three of us to where the two of us are working. Every once in a while, the field guy's got an interesting thing, or he knows somebody, he's just brought something, or he's interviewing somebody on the sideline, and it became this really beautiful connection between the three of us. I think of all the years I've done it, those 2 or 3, that was me, Greg, and Tony, were the best.
We're the best. Man, I like that, man. So I always wondered that, man. So as far as learning each other, do y'all do stuff outside of that, or just wait for them Friday nights to continue growing?
You got to be friends. You can't hide. I don't like this guy if you're in the booth together.
Yeah.
It's best to have gone out to eat. Go see a movie. Just do something where you got to interact in a normal world with that guy, and then talk some football. Talk what you like, what you don't like. I've got when I do LaGrange College football, I have a really great play-by-play guy named Bill Bailey. Bill is the voice of the Panthers. He does their he travels with the team. He's at every ball game. But Bill, I know, loves Green Bay. I know he loves Wisconsin. I know he loves those teams up in the north. And so I can hit him with those during the game, and I can give him little jabs about stuff as we're looking at college football. I say, man, that's looking too good for the Pacific Northwest.
Right, what's going on? Yeah.
But if you got that connection with each other, you can have a little bit more fun. People want you to be friends with that guy you're talking to, because you're sitting in there with them. If I'm on the radio or I'm listening to it, I'm in the booth with those guys, and I want to feel like I'm a part of things. I got a chance to do a game with Quay. Quay was doing play-by-play, and I was doing color with him. And I figured my job was just to crack up Quay. And every chance I get, I was throwing something at him.
Crack him up.
And he finally decided to come back at me. I had gotten some, I hate to tell you this, but I had gotten some wings for the game. I had him up there in the booth with me, and I finished him off, and we were talking about something. And I gave him a nickname or something. He goes, well, I'm going to start calling you 10-piece Jack. That's what I'm calling you, 10-piece Jack.
10-piece Jack.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go 10-piece Jack. But
10-piece Jack.
We started talking about Big Chick and all
kinds of stuff. Right.
He's just a great guy. But I've had great bonds with all the guys that I've done it over the years with, and it's been a blessing.
Wow, I love that, man. So tell me what you got going on Monday nights, man.
On Monday nights, we've got a great thing. Coleman Weiss, who is the owner of WLAG Radio and Eagle Radio, that's 102.3. It's out of Roanoke. You can pick it up great here. LAG is one of the big, right there next to, across from the Brick House, right there next to the theater. So it's he's really the media mogul of LaGrange, Georgia. Wow. Got a great friendship with Coleman, and it's almost 8 to 10 years ago. He said, I'd love to do a Monday night show. For years, we had done Saturday morning quarterback. And I couldn't do Saturday morning quarterback because I was raising kids. And so I was coaching soccer, I was coaching baseball, and soccer every year because that's about the same time. So I was on the field doing that, and so I wasn't able to go and do the in-coaches show. Okay. Plus, coaches also, they're watching film after a ball game.
Man.
They ain't going to bed till 3 o'clock, and then they got to get up at 9 and do a radio show.
Oh, but last thing they want to do.
So we worked it out to go to the local eating establishments and do Monday night football, basically. And so we started off just doing the 3 high schools. First year we did it at the old Main Street pub where your pie is now. They're at the pub. They began to make some transitions there. So we went over to the Brick House. We did it there. We went from there to Mayor Soul. That was some good couple of years right there.
Man,
I got to
that's
eat
good food, man. That was some good food over there.
Coach Matt Mummy kind of got us that deal. But he was over there at LaGrange College. He was the head coach there. He's now at Nevada now. Doing a great job as the OC over there in Nevada. And we went from there to Johnny's Pizza, and now Johnny's Pizza over to Your Pie. I think we're in our 3rd year at Your Pie. Okay. So we go 6:30 with LaGrange College. Coach Earl Chambers joins me there. We talk LaGrange College football. At 7, Quay comes in and does Callaway High. At 7:30, Greg comes in and does the Troop High School. And I close things out at 8 with Coach Napier, and we do the LaGrange High School.
Yeah.
Now someone said, how can you broadcast Troop and talk about Callaway and do LaGrange Highway? I said, well, whoa. I live in Troop County, okay? We got 3 high schools and a college there.
Right.
I went to the college. They got no problem supporting them. I graduated from Troop High School, Mr. Troop High School in 1985.
It's the man.
So, I got my allegiance there. But I was on the first staff of Callaway Middle School. When we opened, I was there on the ground. We were all in the same building with Callaway High.
Wow.
So I got to help out. Of course, I was a football coach there. I was able to coach the golf team at the high school. So I got allegiance to that school because I was there on the ground.
Yeah.
And then LaGrange High, all of my kids went to LaGrange High School and graduated.
So you connect to everybody, man.
So all 4 teams I have, there's a great line in the movie Outlaw Josie Wales. There's a guy that ferries people across the water. And the guy says,
something like the drill was doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like what you
had you, yeah.
He said, don't you have trouble with the Union soldiers and the Confederate soldiers? He said, sir, I have learned to whistle Dixie or sing the Battle Hymn of the Republic with equal fervor. And so I just am able to support all of those teams because, I want to see success out of all the programs. And I have relationships with the coaches and the kids on all the programs. And I think that anything that draws attention to us as a community, whether it's having 10 to 15 kids on a Saturday playing in Division I football across all of our programs, or you get down to 2 and 3, it's 30, 40 kids that are playing at the next level.
Yeah.
And that's football.
Man.
It's still football. And just to see all that success is brought out. Some people have talked to me over the years. They say, wouldn't it be greater, though, if we had one school and we could come with this mega team? What if you had this people's quarterback and this people's running back? And I said, that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. But how many kids does that leave in the hall not doing anything?
A lot of them.
A lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
Give me 3 successful programs that involve 70 to 100 kids apiece over one that's got 70 kids.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. That's a great perspective you just put at, man, because that's barbershop conversation. We've had that numerous times talking about, you know what I'm saying, them breaking up the schools, but that makes sense though.
It's opportunity. What our superintendent talks about all the time right now. Every kid needs a place.
Yeah.
Every kid needs a place to be, place to go, people to connect to. And if I'm taking those, that's hundreds of opportunities away from kids. They'll never see a field. They'll never look back. I mean, I wasn't that good a player, but I can tell you every game of my senior year, I can play it back for you.
Really?
I can tell you about freshman year when we were 1-9. We called ourselves the Bonsai Squad, and we down to the last 3 minutes. The coach would look at us and say, "Bonsai Squad."
Bonsai Squad.
And here we come.
It's our time, baby.
And, the clock is just flying. Because we're getting beat down so bad, but we're coming in the ball.
But it's showtime for us.
And I knew what it was like to walk out on the field at Callaway Stadium before turf, mud everywhere, and get a chance to be on that field. Boy, you just don't forget stuff like that. And again, it rolls back to, and I want to remind folks about how important parents are. My mom and dad pushed me to do all these things. There were days I would come home, and I was, because as a freshman, you're a tackling dummy. You are beat up, you're bruised, you just, the varsity just beat up you all day. And I came home one day and I said, Daddy, I'm going to quit football. He said, "Well, son," and I told him, and he was working on something. He said, "All right, well, that's fine. You need to get your clothes."
Uh-oh.
I said, "What?" He said, "Well, you got to move in your grandma because my son don't quit nothing." And of course, he was joking, but I was worried he was serious. But every ball game I walked down to the field at Callaway Stadium, I didn't have to look at the crowd. I knew where my daddy was sitting because I heard him. "Hey, boy, Jack!"
Yeah.
And I could tell you where he was in that field. Now, back then, you didn't look back up.
You got to stay
look
focused.
up, you ain't going to be on the field.
You got to stay focused.
Coach caught you looking over that crowd, he'll say, "Get your butt up there and be part of that crowd." So I really appreciate both my mom and my dad, and of course the support I got from the rest of the family on all the. Even right now, like I've got uncles that'll text me while I'm doing a broadcast. "Hey, enjoying it. Love the way you do this. Hey, that was a great line you just had." Just to know that there are people that I'm in contact with, they're enjoying what I do. It's
And
special.
still appreciate that. Let me tell you something. At the time you know that you invited me. First of all, you remember the first time you invited me up and you had me trying to go to the top of that booth?
I did. Well, you maybe climb the mountain out here. I was gonna make you climb the mountain up there.
Big no, but listen, my word, season almost done, but I'm saying my word is eventually I'm gonna crawl up there. We'll climb up there. I told you, but the problem is, big dog, not going up for me.
It's the damn gravity.
It's coming back down, but that ladder seems so small for a person like me.
It is feels weird, but that thing's been up since about 1947.
That worries me too. Oh, but I mean,
It's in concrete.
Oh, okay.
It ain't going nowhere.
I'm looking at it, but it's still like it's coming down from like a hole or a tunnel.
It is, but that's what's great though. Is you got that. There's a little tunnel around it, so if you do kind of go back, it catches. So you
like catch my head or catch my body?
Get your shoulders.
Okay.
So you're not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna fall out because that thing catches you as you go down.
Oh, see, I ain't see all that. I just saw, you know what I mean?
Like a regular ladder. That's why that cage is around it to keep you from going too far back. To everybody, oh no, lean forward.
Lean forward.
You would be much worse at Harris County. Now again, I've probably broadcast in over 50 to 100 stadiums in Georgia.
Wow.
And Harris County has one of the scariest places because you're over their broadcast booth, but it is a straight up ladder with no protection, and there's no place to step off. So you have got to go all the way to the top, and then try to get. And you got equipment. You go now. Luckily, I've got a producer that does all that for me now, but I'm still scared of that one. I mean, now right now I'll be ready to challenge it because I feel a little bit better about myself. When I was at my super hot weight where I was, 2 months ago. It was scary to be up there.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like doing it at all. I almost said, drop me the mic.
I do it down this way.
But yeah, you get used to it. In fact, I'll be on the roof in 2 weeks for the Troop LaGrange game. Troop is the away team, so I won't be in my booth. I'll be up on the roof for that one.
On the roof. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be there with the fat head.
Uh-oh.
KaneSaid is gonna be in the building that week. I'm gonna be in the building that week.
At halftime or pregame, I'm always need somebody to talk to, so we might make it happen. That
I'm
might
gonna
be the game.
there. I'm gonna be there, man. So listen though, man. Okay, but I'm gonna be honest, man. When I came the second time and spoke on, it felt good though. Mm-hmm. It felt good, and I felt like Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
Yeah,
and that's what I enjoy about bringing guests on. I'll have the athletic directors, or I'll have shout out to Coach Calhoun and Eric Woods over at Callaway. I just appreciate them taking the time to come up there and enjoy. Mike Pauley has been a great guy over the years to talk to. Mm-hmm. But we were able to talk about and everything that I say on one of those broadcasts is positive. I don't do anything to tear down a kid, to tear down a coach. I'm not down there. I've been down there, and I've had the parents yell at me, and I've had folks not happy with the call I made or the decision that I made.
Right.
But that's not my place right there. Even if something's happening, I wouldn't have called that play. I said, hey, we get up, we do it the next time. That's a tough one, the way that one turned out, or whatever it might be. Now, the opposing team, I might say, I don't know if I make that decision or something like that. But for our folks, and even the other post team, I'm never going to talk about a kid. They're kids. I mean, these are 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids playing a game on the field, sacrificing their body for everybody's entertainment. And I'm going to do nothing but try to build those kids up.
I like that. I like that. But I'm going to tell you, man, there's more of my vibe, too, when it comes to, me training athletes or me talking about them on my show. So I kind of, I'm a firm believer in this positive reinforcement. It is me in general, how I like doing it. But Big Dog, let me ask you this, though, man. Okay, so if you had the opportunity to call an NFL game, what game would it be? Give me the two teams.
Well, it's got to be Dallas and Pittsburgh. Growing up in the 70s, every game was Dallas and Pittsburgh. I mean, as a kid, you only got 3 networks. We only had ABC, CBS, and NBC.
Yep.
Okay? So you only get the game of the week.
Right.
And the nation's team was the Dallas Cowboys. Now you get the Falcons because they were the Georgia team, but the team you saw most was the Dallas Cowboys, and the team they played the Super Bowl was always Pittsburgh.
Always Pittsburgh.
And so those two teams I have the most affinity for of all the NFL teams because I go back to Staubach and Randy White, and I go back to Tony Dorsett and those guys, and even into the 90s guys with Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin and all those guys. That's my wheelhouse right there. But now you take me over to the Pittsburgh side. I used to could name you everybody on starting O and starting D for Pittsburgh, from Too Tall to, of course, Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, Lynn Swan, the Steel Curtain defense. I mean, I just love because it's classic. Good guys and bad guys. The good guys were the Cowboys. They're in white. They got the star, and here come them guys in black. And they're mean. And they got a commercial talking about Mean Joe Green. They're mean, okay?
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you this though, man. I was a big time Pittsburgh fan a few times. One with Greg Lloyd, Kevin Green, in the bus.
Oh, Jerome.
Oh my gosh.
Don't forget Paul Malo.
Yes.
Nobody hit you like Paul
Man, Rod Woodson. Come on, let's keep going with them things. Stewart.
Yep.
And let me tell you something, man. My buddy, my college teammate, Kendrell Bell. I don't know if you remember him. He came from Georgia, University of Georgia. He got Rookie of the Year.
I didn't remember that. Actually, I remember him from Georgia. I remember playing in college. I didn't remember his name.
Yep, Pittsburgh. He went to Pittsburgh. Man, he got Rookie of the Year that year. And he was a maniac from there, man. But I remember that Pittsburgh defense with Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green, man. That was my.
Well, and just to see even what a guy like Roethlisberger's been able to do as a quarterback for that team.
Yeah.
To turn it and everybody, he was too big. His throws were not strong enough. He wasn't precise enough. He didn't have any escapability. Can you show me a 6'5" guy that can get moved like he could move during his time?
Right.
I mean, I love this, and this is another kind of barbershop discussion. I love talking about things like Hall of Fame. Because people say, well, so-and-so needs it, and they'll start bringing out numbers. I say, look, Hall of Fame is about a feeling. If I say a name to you, you either know Hall of Fame or not Hall of Fame.
Right.
I mean, you just know.
You just know the real.
I mean, if I say Dion,
everybody know Hall of Fame.
I mean, there's no question. You know?
Right.
But I look at like Matt Ryan.
What you think?
He got an MVP one year. They went to the Super Bowl, but one of the greatest collapses in the history of the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, 28, whatever.
I think he's in the Hall of Very Good.
Okay.
I don't think he's in the Hall
of Fame.
I think that there should be a Hall of Very Good.
Well, let me tell you something though, man. He has put up some good numbers though.
Numbers are great, but numbers.
But the other stuff.
It's the wins and losses, and it's that big trophy on the end. But you've got a guy like Marino.
Okay.
Automatic Hall of Fame, but Marino didn't win.
He never won the Super Bowl.
But he only went to one Super Bowl. He always thought he'd be right back because his first year he went Super Bowl. But it's so hard to get back there. That's why I will always argue that Brady is the GOAT.
Oh my God.
Because he'd just get there once. He just get there twice. And he didn't do it with the best players every year. He did it with whatever they could piece together. And then he goes to Tampa Bay and does it again. He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT, man.
He's not as fast as he was. He's not as accurate as he was. But guess what they're doing? They're winning ball games.
They winning ball. Man, listen, I'll talk to somebody this weekend. I was saying Tampa offense is so smooth. Mm-hmm. It's so smooth, man, because first of all, they got some of the most dynamic receivers in the NFL. But Brady gets it done, man.
And he makes those guys feel like world beaters.
Right.
And imagine that you're down there, beautiful place to be. You already married a beautiful woman. You ain't worried about the rest of that. It's great climate. You can go party anytime you want to see Brady. I know Brady party. He's throwing the Super Bowl trophy around.
Throw it on the boat.
And you get on the phone, you call up your best friend and say, hey, man, you come hang out with this. And Brady's Gronk down there enjoying. I mean, what a life he's living right now.
Oh my
imagine if you could be on the top of the world and say, hey, my buds, y'all come on, join me. And they produce at that level too. It's just.
So, let me tell you something though, man, because me and Tom, Tom may be a year older than me, or about the same age. I'm not sure, but anyway, Tom still can throw that ball 40 or 50 yards.
On a dime.
On a dime.
In that window, yep.
It's weird though. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but I was driving the other day, and I was thinking about that. I'm like, why can't I throw that ball 60 yards no more? I thought about this. I don't do that. Mm-hmm. Tom is still doing it because that's what Tom do.
He does it every day.
That's what Tom do.
For a ball game,
I throw it in here, but you know what I'm saying? But I don't try to.
It's repetition. It's muscle memory.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. The other day, I played basketball in high school, played church league for years. I love basketball.
Yeah.
I'm in the gym at LaGrange College doing the books for the varsity men and women just because I love basketball.
Right.
I love being around the program.
Right.
I ain't playing nothing. I just love being around the basketball program. Seeing these kids and encouraging them, that sort of thing. We were doing a little drill in your gym, which is awesome, by the way.
I appreciate that.
And you told me to make a layup. And
I said, if you make it, make one. Yeah.
And my mind said, layup.
Easy.
I used to coach layups, and I used to do it, play with my brother. I would do no look stuff and, spin around. I could never really jump, but when I throw the ball up, it's going in the hole.
Right.
On the 9th time down the floor, I think I threw up a granny shot or something to just try to get it in the hole. Knowing I could stop when I got it in. But you lose what you don't use.
Man, that's an old saying, but I think it's true.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very true.
If you don't, how'd it go? If you don't use it,
you're going to lose it.
You lose it. Mm-hmm. That's true stuff. So, Jack, okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty with high school football.
Oh, yeah.
Man. It's about that time where people start getting a little nervous, where losses really count, wins really count. How are teams right now locally looking to you right now?
Let's go to Callaway first.
Give me that.
Callaway coming off of a state championship last year. Callaway's strength is in its program.
Okay, most definitely.
By program, I mean that you've got consistency at your coaching staff. You've got consistency in your expectations. You've got consistency in your practice, in your day-to-day, in your food, and everything that goes on. Every kid from freshman, actually from junior high, because Coach Woodard at the middle school works with that high school program. He knows what those expectations are.
Yep.
Walks them all the way through. So when I'm a junior, senior, I've been in this program for 4 or 5 years. I know what's going on. And that consistency is what finally paid off last year. But now it had been paying dividends for years. We were Cinderella and made it to the ball, but we just couldn't win the mirror ball for several years. But last year, through hard work, following them just the right spot and a few times, we were able to come away with it. This year, not the same team, still got great skill players, not quite as big across the front as they may have been in previous years, but I have great hopes because I think they're catching fire right now. They had a couple of tough ball games with Thomas County Central and Harrelson. But those are powerful programs. Now you don't go in and make some mistakes that they made against programs like that. They don't take advantage, and you can't fall behind those folks early, or else you just can't come back. So in both those contests, that's kind of what happened. Going forward, though, I think that they're kind of igniting fire at the right time. I think they got their homecoming week. That's going to be exciting for the kids. That's going to get them going. And I think I see them going deep into the playoffs again this year. I haven't really looked down the line to see what they're, but they started off as the division as 2A number 1 team. And they fell a little bit with the Thomas County loss and that sort of thing. But I watched them play against
Bremen,
against Troop, and I did a couple of ball games for them on the radio. So I know that they're a skilled group of kids with a lot of potential.
Okay, I like that. All right, let's go to Troop.
All right, Troop. Last year, let's go back a couple of years. You think about what has come out of the Troop in the past 4 years. Actually go back 6. When Glissa got there, they were 1-9. But that wasn't his staff.
Right.
He didn't know those kids. There was no spring ball, barely any summer. So he walked in basically into a blind world, and it showed. But he had a vision where he wanted to go. He had guys he wanted to bring in, and he began to do that process, teach those kids what he expected. And now you got Kobe, you got Andy Boykin, King Makuta over in Alabama. Had a fumble recovery for a touchdown the other day.
Sure did.
You got Kobe showing out. And again, we talked about Callaway. You got Tank Biggs.
Tank, right.
You got Tate Johnson. And
Keandre. Yeah.
So you got kids that are playing locally. I call it locally. Alabama, Auburn at the next level. So Troop has graduated some real studs.
Most definitely.
But right now, they're doing a little bit of rebuilding. They've still got some strong guys. You've got, everybody's been talking a lot about Teo Todd. Teo was one of the most talented, fast kids. Last year, had just set the whole state on fire.
He went crazy
with the way
last
he was running.
Yes.
Got a little banged up against the Callaway game. Recovery's going well. He got back on the field, but they had Tyson Duncan come in. And I tell you what, you want to talk about a kid that is a Swiss Army knife as a player. He came in and ran that offense. It changed with him. But,
it had to, right.
But he's scared to run the ball. Boy, will duck his head.
And he got a pretty good arm.
He got a great arm. Teo, real proud of his work in the offseason. Teo, if you remember, was kind of just Brett Favre slinger. But now when he sets up, he comes at you. He comes across that air, and he's going straight down, and he's knocking folks down with that ball. In fact, he'd probably take a little off it. But I'm real proud of our skill players. Buddy Wortham will go up and climb the ladder and come down with balls. Townsend just really impressed me. Adion Hargrove. So all your receivers are really doing a tremendous job. And I'm going to leave some names out.
But
you got the two-headed monster of Fannin and Mitchell, T.J. Mitchell back in the backfield. Cullen Irvin has come in and he actually scored a touchdown from that position. Defensively, you got a kid, and here, circle this name, folks, Quay Birdsong. He'll be playing on Saturday.
He definitely will.
He's just a sophomore, and he's already grabbing the whole backfield and picking up the one he wants. He's got a nose to the ball. I was talking to a coach last night on my show. He said he's got the best first step since King Makuta. He's just a sophomore. So you get that kid in the weight room, give him completely buy-in. But again, we talk about program with Callaway. That's what Glisson's built.
Right.
People know what to expect. Yep. And if you don't like his program, guess what you're going to do? You're going to sit down.
Peace out.
You're going to sit down.
That's true.
And you may sit down for a game, you may sit down for a quarter, but you got to realize, win or lose, I'm the head coach.
It's going to be a break somewhere in there.
And you're going to go, and guess what? I'm going to still be here. So we have to do it my way. Troop, tough ball game against Carver this past week. Carver that's some men than a Carver.
It is.
That is some men right down there. But Columbus always has one school in all theirs that for years it was Shaw at the football level. Jordan a few years here and there, but now switched over to Carver. And Carver's just doing a tremendous job down there. But Carver hadn't seen some of these schools that have that private parochial kind of weird thing. You know, St. Pius and Benedictines, and actually well, that may be too late. But anyway, when you get to take on some of those teams that can recruit from across the state,
it's a little different. It's a little different though.
But going back to the Tigers this year, playoff is already, we already know we're going to go to the playoffs. It's going to be Carver on top. You got Hardaway in the 4th seed. The big game is next week, not this coming week,
right.
Next week, Triple LaGrange. That's going to decide 2 and 3 right there.
And that's going to be so important.
Whether you travel or you're going to be at home. Being at home gives you such an opportunity to keep on moving through. Now, 3rd seed, 2 seed, not a lot of difference who you're going to play. You know, you're going to play a quality team one way or the other. But the big difference is I ain't got to leave school early. I ain't got to figure out how to feed my boys. I ain't got to, all that is off the table. We just do school, have our pregame meal like we always do, get your pads on, get on the bus, go to the stadium. Boom. And that means a lot. That means because, hey, you know as well as I do, a bus ride will take it out of you.
It will take it out of you.
And if you got to go, as we've had to go across the state, go up to North Georgia, go
That's
across
tough,
the other
buddy.
side.
That's tough,
you
buddy.
6 hours on the bus and then get off and try to play a ball game. Your legs just ain't ready for it. So I see Troop 2, 3 deep. And if they catch fire in that time, I think they go even further. I think the sky's the limit for those kids.
I like that.
Let me get to LaGrange.
Okay.
Coach Napier, I think, has lit a fire under the Grangers in a way that I haven't seen anybody do, maybe since Pardue. I know Coach Pardue and many of the members of that staff very well. That was a great group of guys, and we bumped into a few things and some down years for the Grangers where kids. I'll be honest, as I look back, kids quit coming out.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much about coaching here or anything. Kids just were roaming the halls. The best athletes we needed weren't coming on the field. Coach Gibbs kind of stepped in, began to move things a little bit, but Napier comes in with that youthful exuberance, that energy, that creativity that made him such a great coach at
Callaway.
He may be the greatest offensive mind we got in town. But something I found out last night, I had John Hardy, Coach Roach, and Coach Edie from LaGrange High. They run the JV program.
Right.
And I know Coach Pleasance, Coach Crocker, several of those other coaches, Marcus Blandenberg, several of those guys I know just because, well, you know, some are my age. You got Crocker Pleasance out there, you know, with their canes. Come on, boy. I'm sorry. No, don't hit me, Thomas. I'm sorry. But he has gotten everybody on the same page. He's got everybody knowing out there, we're out there to have fun. We're out there to work hard. And with the fruits of our labor will be the wins on the thing. But that's not what we're playing for. We're playing to help these young men become better people, stronger people, and the wins will come out of that. And it is flipped a switch. It's brought in kids that haven't played in a long time. It's made excitement about kids. The weight room is something that everybody wants to be a part of now.
Yeah.
Of course, COVID had a lot to do with a lot of the mess that's going on, but he has come in and really lit a fire to them to where we're back to the expectation that the Grangers are going to the playoffs every year.
Right.
For several years, that was no longer the expectation.
You're right.
And I'm talking about with good coaches.
Yep.
I mean, coaches that are friends of mine. Donnie Branch, Yellow Burks, Coach Gibbs. I mean, Chuck Gibbs. Those are great guys.
Right.
But we just weren't able to put it all together. Now things are starting to get back together. Kids are wanting to be on the field. There's that energy and there's that vision of, hey, maybe he's right. Maybe we can get out there and do something. And so everybody's on the same page. But when I had Hardy and Edie and Roach on, they were talking about how Coach was, for every varsity position coach, there was a JV position coach that was learning from them. A young guy learning from an older guy.
Man, that's good.
A mentor with his mentee, and they're working towards the same thing. Edie went to LaGrange High School. Coach Crocker was his position coach. And now, he said, I feel like I'm cheating sometimes because he'll say, hey, Edie, let's run this drill. And Edie doesn't have to go, well, tell me what to do, Coach. Bam.
Hey, remember that drill?
Right on it.
Yeah.
And he remembered how it felt and how to do. And the kid's like, whoa, look at Coach Edie. He knows how to. And so that's all that chemistry is just building and building.
I like that.
And they're having a lot of fun. One of the best anecdotes I've heard this year, we had some of the kids on my show, on my Monday night show. Tay Sneed's quarterback over at the LaGrange High School. Tay came on, did a great job. And that's hard for a high school kid
Oh, my God.
to come on the radio and talk.
Yeah.
all these people around in the room. They eat the pizza.
Pressure.
Him. Yeah.
The mic in the face.
Exactly. He looked at me. We had a conversation like you're not doing right now. Tay and I were talking about I asked him what sort of freedom is Coach Napier giving you on the RPOs? Are you okay? You've got to run this time. You've got to pitch this time. You've got to throw this time. He said we started there, and we built to where he's given me the ability to make my reads, make my choices.
Wow.
Now, let me remind you, Tate has never played quarterback this year. This is his first year playing quarterback. That's a high school senior. His first year, a coach giving him the confidence to run out there. And
man, that's some trust.
It's trust. And he feels that trust to the point, and this is what blew my mind. I said, now, coach is creative. He ever just come up and just say, hey, let's try this? He said, all the time. Coach will see something in the defense, and he'll call him over and say, run this with this little added, and the kids just do it. They don't have to get it and have it drawn on a piece of paper.
None of that stuff. Just go with that thing.
They're so plugged into what coach has got. So, again, you want predictions, LaGrange is going to go at least too deep in the playoffs. That's it. They're barking about it. You hear them barking.
The dogs in here. Got the dogs in the house.
But I'd love to see them go deeper. But I feel for sure we're going to see them winning their first region game in the region and going to their second. Of course, I don't know who they're playing, so it's hard for me to predict beyond that. But I think they got the capability to go deep this year.
Man, but I'm going to tell you something, though, now. Okay, now about Hurricane, man. Do you know anything about Hurricane?
I heard the Braves. Braves, they're not the world beaters this year.
Right.
Okay? They're some great. They've had a little bit of change in the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to remember where they are, where their standing is in the region.
So let me tell you, man. So you know from Hurricane?
I didn't know you were from County.
I am.
Okay.
I'm Hurricane, but I've been in LaGrange forever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna talk about them too. But I'm about like you, man. I've trained every kid for every school, so I'm neutral though.
Sure.
But man, I was talking to one of their kids the other day, Jonathan Eccles. Shout out to Jonathan Eccles.
Yeah, I met him the other day.
Yeah. And so he was talking about, and man, he and I was talking about the standing like we're talking about now. He said if they can beat Harrison Friday, they will be ahead of Callaway.
Okay.
Because Callaway lost to Harrison.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? So they got a pretty tight look, almost like a LaGrange.
Yeah.
And I think they battling over 3 and 4, maybe something like that. I think I'm saying that right. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, this game Friday night is so important because in 2 weeks, not next week, that's when they're gonna play Callaway for the Popewood
Trophy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's what I'm saying. The time of the year football finna get dirty now.
It's when it's the most fun.
Yeah.
And I tell you, this is a special year for me because last year, close to this time, I got COVID.
Okay.
And I got put in the hospital. I was at home with it for a while. My breathing got bad. I was in the hospital 7 days. ICU, 3 of them. I mean,
really?
We're talking about deep ICU. I didn't know it while I was in there, but it was touch and go for a little bit. And I was in there. Of course, you're alone. There's nobody can come see you, but a nurse who's dressed up like an astronaut can come see you.
Hold on, it ain't funny though. But were you out and woke up and saw the nurse?
In some occasions, yeah.
You probably like, what the world is that?
I can remember I was I couldn't hold my head up, and so my wife takes me to the hospital. They come out, put me in a chair. They say, "Thank you, Ms. Morman," and make her leave. She can't come in. So last thing she
it was like a movie.
Last she sees is me rolling into the hospital and her getting back in her car. Your health is not about you. Your health is about your loved ones.
Most definitely.
And the impact it has on them.
Yeah.
And looking back, I know how hard that was for her to see me go in and not know anything about my situation. So I go into the ICU and I'm laying in the bed and I can't get a good breath and they put the mask on. And I feel like I'm drowning. And I take it off. Beep, 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 beep. The alarm's going off. And the lady said, put it back on. I put it back on. I keep breathing. Lady walked over to me and she said, Mr. Morman, if you take that mask off again, I'm going to put a pipe down your throat and you won't know anything that happens for the next 24 hours.
Oh, my God.
And I went, put that mask back on my face.
He ain't putting no pipe down my throat.
And I just...
Right? Yeah.
Every controlled breathing, everything I ever learned with yoga with Lisa, it all comes back. But that was I didn't know how bad I was. But I was lucky that the folks at Wellstar did a tremendous job for me. Ken Horlander is a great friend. He's out there, one of the chiefs of medicine, and he took on my case personally. and made sure I got the best care while I was in there. And I'm on the other side of it. But it was is the lowest I've been health-wise in my life.
Wow.
And I really don't want to waste any time. After that,
most definitely.
We got to go. We got to go.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, so this is a special year of football for me because I'm gonna get to watch the end of the season.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to watch Cowboys run. I wasn't able to, I would have been in the booth with Andrew and Chris probably.
Yeah.
As on the field guy or something like that, traveling with them, going to those ball games. If I'd had the opportunity, but I had to listen to Greg do games and guys step in for me. And if you were a type A person who you don't like people who have to do your job. It was my job to be the play-by-play. I couldn't be there, and you don't want to hear, "Well, our prayers with Jack." Well, no, I appreciate y'all pray for me, but I want to be there.
But man, I want to be there.
And so I'm sitting in the hospital bed, kicking myself, and
But you got your breathing joint on.
I got over it, and I got better, and it's one of those situations that'll change you, change you big time.
Wow.
You learn that. You do have people that love you. When you might be down on yourself, you might feel bad about something, but my daughter Anna and Caitlin, they spearheaded this. We about that 6th day in the hospital. I've never been in the hospital that long. It's 6th day by yourself.
That's terrible.
Guy Fieri's my best friend on the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. That's all I watched the whole time. He was on all the time.
Just catching that show.
Yeah, guy don't know him. He's my best friend.
Right.
But a box arrived, and I opened the box, and there were over 300 cards and letters in there.
Really?
That in the schools that I've been a part of, in the community, True Pie, friends, had all, Anna and Caitlin and Sarah had gotten everybody together to write me a card. And didn't know some of the people that wrote them. But I went through that. It took me a good hour and a half to go through every one of those cards. And that sustained me in a way that I didn't understand before. I'd always heard, "Hey, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you." I never understood what that was until then. And you could, through those cards, feel the prayers of the saints who were supporting and loving on you. Until you're in one of those positions and you can really take stock of things, I never felt it before. But they really brought out a real positivity in me. And, of course, it took me a while to just up and walk after that. They told me it'd be a week for every day I was in the hospital to get just back to 67%. I was in for 7 days. That was 7 weeks it took me to climb back out. And then as I talked with you, I put on a bunch of weight and just couldn't do anything with it. And here I am.
Right. But I'm going to tell you something, though, Jack, man. You have been doing excellent, here in the gym, man. Here in the gym. But like I told you the first day we got together, it's a process. Your body remembers you being an athlete because you are an athlete. You gotta wake it back up.
Yeah.
And you have, man. You've been waking this thing back up in the gym.
Well, I get tickled. You've posted a couple of videos, and friends of mine have really enjoyed that. In fact, I didn't know it. I was teaching class today, and one of the kids, I guess, either comes up or is a friend on Instagram with Clockwork Performing, and he said, "Miss Morman, you go to Clockwork?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I do." He said, "What are you doing at Clockwork?" I said, "Well, I'm working with Mr. Kane. We're trying to help me to get to where I can move better, help me to reduce my weight, just kind of bring me back. I'm not trying to become an athlete again, but I do want to. I'm 54 and I got a grandson, and I want to be his coach. I want to be able to do things, and I got to have a coach to help me do that again." He said, "You're slow." And I looked, and he was looking at the video of me carrying the keg, and I have avoided really looking closely at that, but I had to watch it with him because he showed everybody in the classroom. And the kid, "Mr. Morman, why are you so slow?" Because I look back on that, there's at one point in the thing where I'm supposed to go over a hurdle and then go down and pick up. In my mind, I'm a gazelle. Yeah. I'm flying over that hurdle, and I'm pumping that left leg, and I'm coming down, and I watch that thing. Whoop, whoop. It's like, let's take out the elephant here at the Morman Bentley Circus. Hey, move that elephant. But it was fun, and I was surprised. Instead of just making fun of me, the kids were encouraging, and that was neat to say, "Keep it up, Mr. Morman. Hey, proud of you, Mr. Morman." And for the apathy that a middle school child can have, to have that's pretty cool.
But I'm gonna tell you something, big dog, man. The fact that you doing that, they're gonna be a whole different respect level for the kids, though. You know what I mean? 'Cause they're gonna say, even though they say you were slow, but brother, you was going. You was doing it.
I was actually moving and doing it.
You was doing it, man. You was doing it, man. So, big dog, man, I noticed every time you come into my media room, you always eye my wall.
Well,
you always eye my wall, big dog.
well, I'm a media person.
Okay.
You know? Okay. So I'm considered part of the local media.
Yeah.
And I've coached a lot of kids over the years. You know.
Okay.
And I got two or three that still share back with me how they're doing and things like that. And I looked up here, and there's this wall of like 30, 40 kids.
Yeah.
And they're in their high school stuff. They're in their college stuff.
Yeah.
Both softball,
That's
baseball,
the wall of fame, baby.
boys and girls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is the wall you want to be on.
Right.
So, Kane, I had to do something. So I went into the archives. And I had to pull out. Number 52. The Troop High School Tiger. Right there.
Yes, sir.
With the sun in curly blonde hair. That's the part.
With the neck roll?
I got the neck roll.
You got the neck
I got the neck roll. You should have seen my forearm pads I wore back then.
Yeah.
And so it says throwback number 52.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kane, Jackie M. So
that's going on the wall of fame, baby.
But I said, wait a minute. That's before.
Okay.
Now I gotta at least get now. So here is Jack Morman, the broadcaster. Now this is atop that Harris County field. That's with my partner Greg Hicks there with me. This is what I look like now, but I got my headphones on. I'm pointing out things to him. We're talking about the field.
Breaking it down real good.
But what my favorite part of this picture is what I had to put on the back. It says, "If you are the Kane to my Abel, because you are killing me." So just like in the Bible, Kane is killing Abel. And I'm able to do all the things he's asked me to.
Right.
But then sometimes I leave here just about dead. But so I thought
big dog, man.
need to put
Yes,
the two
sir,
together.
man. I would definitely put that on the wall of fame, baby. Yo, but this neck, man, that
Those are back
face
with-
mask,
those are back
man.
with, look at the size of those pads. I mean,
Those sleeves, man.
that little 140-something pound little me, look at those legs.
Yeah.
Look at that stick.
Yeah. Man.
That is a lot less
Big
of me
dog.
than there is now.
Man, you going on the wall, man.
But hey, 52 since I was in Little League all the way through high school. And I've actually, Greg, who runs a local Mud Creek Graphics here in town, he made me a troop jersey, 52, Morman on the back. I wear that a lot of times up in the booth to a ball game.
Man, I love that, man. So, Jack, check this out, man. At the end of every show, man, I always get my guests to say something, leave something positive to the viewers and the listener, man. What you got to leave them with?
Well, it's never too late, I guess, is the thing that I would say. That's kind of the theme of what you and I have been doing together. Again, I've rolled through some things over the years. I've tried, I did church league basketball, I did church league softball, but I was always, looking down and can't see what color my belt is while I'm playing.
Right.
That's always been kind of the goal. Is can I see my belt again? But in all of those things, I would give up for a while on that and add weight. I'd give up for a while on that and lose relationships. I'd give up on some things. But then I rolled back and realized that the relationships never went away. I did.
I like that.
And so you got to make sure that you are not quitting. You're pushing forward. That person that you think you've lost a relationship with, give them a call because it's still there. You just got to rekindle it. I love as the weather's turned. I love to go outside and light a fire, and I love to get that fire going. And my favorite thing when I'm camping is come the next morning and try to get it going again with just the coals that are in the fire. Rekindle that fire.
Rekindle that fire.
And so we need to do that with our friends.
I like that, man.
Because all it takes is, look, I'm calling you, I'm checking, I'm texting you, and the fire bursts again. I did a little thing on Facebook and on YouTube called Music with Friends, and I was a musician for years. I've had a couple of bands, and I got together with people that meant a lot to me musically, and we just sat and we talked and we sang a song, kind of like you and I are doing here. We sang a song afterward, and folks that I haven't sat and talked to in a long time, we sat and we did a 25-minute show, and now I talk to them every week. And it's been, I even got my high school band back together, and we one was in Savannah, one's here in town. We got all four of us back together. It was magic. We weren't any good, but we had the best time. We played for 2 hours, and just feeling that again, being in the room, trying to remember how did that song go, how did this song go, and just reminiscing over the stories and those memories, because every one of us has got a memory that needs something filled in. And to hear the other person, oh, that's the rest of the story. That's why I was in this place. That's why I remember this part. Our drummer back then was a guy named Lee Beckham. And Lee joined us because he had drums and he had a cute sister. That's why he became the drummer.
Right.
And he was excited that these college guys were wanting him to play with him. And we had trouble playing some places because Lee was too young to walk in. So we couldn't go play in some bars because, sorry, you got a 14, 15-year-old kid doing that.
You can't do that.
But hearing Lee think about sitting outside in his garage waiting for me to pull up in my truck to load all of his drums on my truck, go to where we rehearse for 2.5 hours, load all that stuff back on, take it back to his house.
Dang.
You did things that were crazy when you were a kid. But I had forgotten all that. It was a part of what we did, but it was so special to him, he still remembered it. In fact, he still got 2 of our T-shirts we made back there, Random Noise, More
Really?
But Louder. He's got the T-shirts. He's got pictures of us from playing at places, and he has these deep memories that I've still got deep memories, but some of them need to be rekindled. And so I guess that would be my encouragement is don't let the fire go out. If it's what you want to do, is what you're looking forward to, rekindle that fire, work hard on it, blow some attention to it, and the success is going to come.
I love that, man. Check out, man, listen, man. I appreciate you for coming in here, blessing the KaneSaid episode, man. I appreciate you, big dog.
It was a lot of fun. You and I talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know which way we were going to go with this. I didn't know if it was going to be a 5-minute spot or we're going to talk for a while. But as I said, you put a microphone in front of me, and I'm going to go.
And listen, man, big dog, you're a natural. You already know that you're a natural, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate what you're doing in the community, man. I appreciate you, big dog.
It's a great. Hey, we got rugs and everything that say it's America's greatest little city. So.
There it is, baby. Yo, everybody, listen, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode with my man Jack, baby. Y'all know what it is. Zip 'em up.